the first thing I'm doing here is taking the username and having the locations of each files saved up. So backup root is where the backup will be created. And this is we have 4 kinds of backups. One is a full, one is an incremental, one is a differential, and the other one is a filtered by size incremental. So all of these things are well defined here. This is my log file, and this is where the searching starts from. So in the backup is done from the home username backup, because like if I try to do it home backup, it's not possible in the Ubuntu server. So first thing is getting the file types, the arguments. So I have to take 0 to 4 arguments, and that's why I'm doing a check here. This is the count of the arguments is greater than 4, then an error will be shown and the program will exit. Afterwards, I'm taking this as a file types. This whole arguments will be like an array, and then it will be inside this variable file types. Create directories if they do not exist. If they do exist, it won't be created. So like I said, these 4 directories that I am setting up here is going to get created here. These are the counters I'm using. These are used for file names. So this is my log message. The date is formatted properly, and then there will be a timestamp. Timestamp is this, so date will be printed, and afterwards this variable, whatever, this is a function. So whatever I'm inserting here as argument, it will be printed. So let's just go there. His name and full tar name. So this is the thing, the file that I'm created. So this name will be printed, and it will also print that it's created. And this whole thing is going inside as an argument. So this line, so first the date time will be printed, and afterwards this line will be printed. So local find cmd, here I'm saying this is the Linux find command, and we'll start searching from this search root, which I predefined it. And what we're doing here is we're only searching for files, not directories. So firstly, if the file types is greater than 0, which means that the arguments that I've inserted, if it is greater than 0, then it means that we have to do some filtering. So this find command starts with a parenthesis. If the array is not empty, it adds an opening parenthesis, and then this is the start of an OR group for file name matching. So like if I say it's going to be .pdf or .txt, it's like that. Then there's a for loop for each file types. Then this command, this is an O, so this denotes OR operator. With each operator, it will compare each file type, so like .pdf, .txt, each of them. And this is creates a wildcard pattern, so star file types. So it can be like a file name .pdf, like that. And after everything is done, a closing parenthesis is added, completing the OR group. This filtering. So this is used inside the incremental function, and this is used inside the last one, incremental size function. And this is just a function call. We'll call this find cmd thing. Okay, create tar is just simple. It will create a tar file. It's just that this, one important thing is that it redirects the standard error to this dev null. While true, do a continuous loop. So this is my main code. So the first thing is construct the file name. I'm not creating the file. The file is created beforehand, but here I'm just constructing the file name. So this is a directory, and this is the file name, and this is the counter. So in the beginning, it will be 1. After each iteration, it will become 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Then within this variable, we're calling this function to find files, and the files will be saved here. And in this, with this function, it's create tar. This will be the file name, and this will be the files. So create tar has 2 variables, 2 arguments. And with these 2 arguments, one is the file name and one of the files. A tar will be created. And after creating a tar, if it is successful, then a log message will be printed. So log message is a function, like I said, and this log message will do one thing first. This echo will be redirected into the log file, and this echo, just for testing the whole code, I kept it like that. But this echo will print in our log console log. This is a 2-minute sleep interval. Afterwards, this is incremental backup. In the find files, there is an argument, full timestamp file. So if there's an argument here, so if this function has an argument 1, then it will come here and do this. It will only consider the newer files. Then this is differential backup after step 1. So differential backup here, as far as I understand, what it does is an incremental backup only copies the data that has changed since the last backup, whether that last backup was a full backup or another incremental backup. A differential backup copies all the data that has changed since the last full backup. So it just compares with the last full backup, and incremental backup just compares with the previous backup. Backup directory finds incremental timestamp file. We're inserting this, so there will be an argument there. And if this does not succeed, a log message will be printed that no changes, incremental backup was not created. And interval and then differential, then create our differential name. So it goes with files. This is the main function. The find files and full timestamp file. So what happens here, as you can see the difference, here I'm comparing incremental timestamp file because this is comparing with this one. This will create something like incremental timestamp file here. And this compares with this step, but this one will compare with the full timestamp file here. So that's the difference between incremental and differential. The last one is step 5, which is a size filtering. That's all that is. So find files. It will get the find files function, and inside that, full timestamp and then size. So this is the second argument for the find files function. And if we go back to the find files function, we can see that first argument, this is about that is a newer file comparison. The second argument will denote that it is a size comparison. So this is something I did extra, which is like after a whole cycle is completed, this will say that one cycle of backup is completed. This code will keep running in a loop, and until I send a signal with a keyboard with like a Control-C or Control-Z, it will keep running. It has to start the code. I've already done chmode, and it has executable permission, backup.sh. I have a lot of different txt and .c files, so I'm just going to do .pdf because let's first try something like this: txt.c .zip .tar. There's 5 arguments here, more than that. What will happen is too many arguments, maximum 4 arguments allowed, and the program will exit. So that thing is working. And I'm pretty sure the no arguments will work. I'm not going to test it because I have a lot of files here. If I run this, it will create a huge size of backup. I'm just going to run .pdf, and the program has started running. So one whole cycle of backup has been completed. Then another full backup is done. In a new terminal, I'm just going to create a file, touch x.pdf. With that, a new PDF file is created, which would be considered a change. So in the incremental backup, a new file should be created. Let's wait for that to happen, just because of that 2-minute gap. As it can be seen, because I created a touch with the touch x.pdf, this incremental backup is created, and then a differential backup is also created. But this step 3 incremental backup is not created, because like it's comparing with this backup. That is why it's not created. So no changes, incremental size backup was not created. Why it's not created? Because I just created an empty file, and that file is less than 100 kilobytes. So this is not created. Okay, let's just stop the program for now. So let's go see if these files are created properly. So this is where the backup will be, cd backup. So there are 4 directories here: differential backup, full backup, incremental backup, and incremental size backup. And there's a w25 log.txt. Let's see the log first. w25 log.txt. This is the log, what we saw in our printing terminals. cd full. In the full backup, there are 2 files because like we ran the cycle 2 times. And let's extract the files. tar book 1. So 1 and 2 comes from the counter. So each of them, there are 4 files here, 4 PDF files here, and each of them is all of them has their directories intact. So if I go see that now, ls, so everything has their own directory, cd home. So I'll just copy paste this. ls, you see there's an f1 PDF, which is an empty PDF file. So I can nano f1.pdf. So it's an empty PDF file. Okay, so it's working. The full backup is done. And if we go back to directories, backup, and if you can see, we can just check the incremental. So nothing should be in the incremental size backup. There should be some stuff in the incremental backup. So let's go inside there, cd inc bup. ls, there are 2 files there, as expected. Let's go back and see the differential backup. There should be 1 file, differential backup. So there's only 1 file, the differential backup. So everything is running correctly. Thank you.